Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's been a long couple weeks since I've seen you guys. Hey, thank you for showing up tonight, getting in here and supporting a lot of the Thirsty Thursday and the Monday Digs crew and everybody that shows up in here and being just a great community. A little bit about tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about Digstock and how that event really works and how it plays out and how it worked out for everybody in our crew involved this week. We all had an amazing time together. When you can put people that haven't been together in the same house for 3 days and you get to know one another and you get to actually experience a little bit more of somebody's personality, you can figure out a lot more. And what I learned this weekend about Practical Ken, Brian B. Higgles, and Gene Wooten at We Dig It is that we're all very like-minded and we have very similar personalities and core values, and we really had a great time. The brotherhood of spending time with those guys was absolutely amazing. And there's days that you kind of get lethargic about what you're doing and stuff like that in here and stuff like that, and then you have a couple days like that where you're hanging out with these guys, and everything that you realize at that point has come from this community in YouTube, and it's put us all together. And I'm very thankful for those guys. I'm thankful for the time that they spent. They trusted and come up there and hung out with me when we rented an Airbnb, and it was amazing. We'll talk a lot about that and the event this weekend. The people at Digstock did a great job, but I want to go through some of this chat and say hi, because I want to thank Rob also for definitely taking care of me last week while I was not here and helping me out because Brian and I was on the road. I'm going to go ahead. I see somebody over here that needs to be modded up. Please, Team Black Diamond. I know that I've seen you before. Feel free to share your channel, my friend, and anything that you'd like to represent about yourself in here, feel free to do so. I'm going to start off really fast here. Alley Cat Treasures is in the house, and that's Mr. Tim. Been having it's just amazing how many people I have conversations with, but Tim is one of my favorites. And Steve at Stories Lost and Found, I'm pretty sure that he gifted some memberships in here today. And Steve, I appreciate that. I hope people find value in what I offer, and that next year is going to be better. Now I kind of know a little bit more of what I'm doing, but we got some members only stuff coming up. Maybe this week, maybe next. I'm not announcing any type of giveaways, so that's really cool too. Karen McCoy, thank you so much. I appreciate you as always. The Lucky James Eller, hello. Thank you for being in here. Jeff Obsessions is in the house too. Welcome, Jeff. Metal Detecting with Randy. We'll be on Monday Digs this week. Randy's got a video ready, so you got to check that out this week. Format on Monday Digs is going to change a little bit going forward too. We're going to try some new stuff this year. Stay ahead of the curve. Let's see. Same people chit-chatting quite a bit. Relic Reaper Don, my neighbor in just north of Cincinnati, is in the house. Thank you for being here, Don. My next planned thing is a local dig here for some of you guys that I've been talking to about bringing up for a field dig. That is going to happen probably within the next month. So I will hit you up with a date, and then we'll see if we can make that work for everybody. If not, we'll pick a different one. Las Vegas Urban Treasure Hunter is in the house. Thank you for being here, Rob. I appreciate you. There's Practical Ken. Ken did a great job this weekend of making sure we were prepared for what we were about to go out and embark upon. Had some contacts within that community up there. Helped us, which we'll talk about a little bit in here in a little while when we get to, but really made our weekend really cool. Going faster here. Chris there at Bear Magnetics is in the house. What's up, Chris? Nice to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Olin Borden, what's up, Olin? Thank you so much. Tony, Mr. Diggs, always glad for Clad. Thank you for being here, Tony. I saw the comment about you wish you was at Digstock with us. Yeah, I definitely would have liked to have seen a few more people that I knew up there. Like I said, I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but I would have been glad to hang out with you as well. David Alfonsetti. Thanks, David. I appreciate you being here. Does mean a lot. 508 Magnets, Mr. Josh is in the house. Yeah, that's right, brother. Keep the thumbs up and keep on digging. I appreciate you, my friend. I get it. My biggest kick out of Josh is watching his day-to-day life with the animals. There's Team Diamond. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Feel free to share any links that you got in here, any products, whatever you want to share. Drop the link. I don't object to that at all. I want everybody in here to do that. Cavalry Relics, Mr. Chris, Ron. I'm going to call you both from now on. Christopher Ron's what I'm going to call you, I think, is in the house. Thank you very much for being here. Definitely appreciate you. Definitely want to dig down south sometime, so I'll keep that in mind. And there's Miss Rachel right there, Jersey Ray Diggs. I was really hoping that she was going to make it up to Digstock. Didn't see her. I knew she was coming up Sunday. I was waiting for a message saying that she was there, but she never quite made it. But that's okay. We'll figure that out sooner rather than later. I did want to get a chance to hang out. Let's cruise through. You guys are chatting it up. I love it. Deb Spader is in the house. What's up, my friend? Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Definitely love your channel. There's Shannon Dalton. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Mr. Robert Wiedemann's in the house as well. Thank you for being here, Rob. I appreciate that very much. Glad you guys all showed up today. I always like it. I missed my live. I really did. I didn't get a chance to watch much of Rob last week. I was driving, of course, so I flipped it on for a few minutes. And, I was checking it out, and I was like, oh, man, that's really nice to see Rob's having a good old time in here. And then he killed it this weekend. My life's finally getting back to a little bit of normalcy here. Adventures in Michigan with Lisa. What's up, Lisa? Thank you for stopping in. And there's another one of the Monday Diggers, Adam, at AEW Main Treasure Adventures, putting out awesome underwater content. Love watching him dive. It's pushing me because next year I'm going to get the Nemo out quite a bit when the summer months hit. I think I'm really going to focus on that a little bit because digging them when it gets hot and dry kind of stinks. And I got a couple really good places to go. There's Brian B. Higgles. He's editing and lurking, but he's in the chat. Brian, thank you very much for being here. Thank you this much for this last weekend. I couldn't have drove up there without you, man. I wouldn't have made it. Zaxon's in the house. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Expressions of the Outdoors. What's going on? So many of the regular good people I like to see in here. All right, that gets me to the bottom in here today. So next week, it's no big secret. Mike from Metal Detecting North Carolina will be in here with me. I definitely wanted him to come in for a very specific reason. NorCal, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. I wanted him to come in here for a very specific reason. And also next week we celebrate Veterans Day, and Mike is a veteran as well. I got a couple stories that I want to talk about, so I'm going to save all the stuff from South Carolina from my wife and I's trip until then. But I'm going to have Mike in here next week. Also, I didn't really bother Tim today because poor Tim at Illinois Digger, he's been a busy camper lately. He had a lot of running to do, and plus he volunteers with the Digstock committee, so he's up there working as well. And and I didn't want to bother him to come in tonight. And plus I had a lot of stuff to run my mouth about and kind of vent out all this excess that I've had going on. So it's going to be a good time tonight. A lot of good stuff to talk about Monday or about Digstock. There's Miss Dawn right now, the Metal Detective. It's nice to see you, Miss Dawn. Definitely love having you in the chat. I haven't really had much chance to talk to you since we talked the other day. I still need to talk to you a little bit more about that. Let's see. I think I got just about everybody. There was rumblings, about this Digstock event, and there was a lot of people that talked not only about the event itself, but I noticed that, and then Rachel brought it up on Wednesday night, last night, I should say, and she brought up what people's expectations are when you go to an event like this. So if you don't know how these work, this was my first Digstock event. This was my first event of any real major size. I've been to like one seated hunt, and then these private events, like Flash Bash, which is a small grouping getting together, just kind of hanging out. Not a, you can do whatever you want type of deal. You can pan if you like. You can learn how to pan. You can go metal detect. You can bottle dump dig. It's what we did this year. We metal detected and bottle dump dug. That's a cool little event. I went to Swifty's last year on Halloween. That's where I spent last year, was with Swifty, and the Clarks, Park Rat Pat. We all hung up at a cabin and in Virginia, and we had a great time out there in the in the eastern countryside in the hills. That's the kind of stuff that I had been doing. So this event was the first paid event that I had went to. And the first thing you think about when you're trying to determine something like that is, what is your expectation for the event? Well, somebody said it yesterday that they should have zero expectations. And by that meaning that you're there to get the dig, you're there to pursue your hobby, to see new equipment, because they have booths and sponsors. But but most of all, it's a social event, because let's face it, metal detectors a lot of us are introverted. A lot of us aren't very super social people. It's just the way that it is. There's things about it that that are tough. Some people have anxiety issues with crowds, and some people can't really function in that. Everybody has a little bit different, but we all share this love of digging history and treasure out of the ground. So everybody kind of puts their stuff aside. They go in there and they meet new people and have a great time. So when you walk into that, here's what they offer. The first thing is that they offer, you get a couple little door prize things, where they have stuff. You get a couple entry tickets and some raffles, stuff that you would expect an event to have. They have food on site where you can eat. And then they provided us, I believe, I'm not going to get the number correct, but it was like 4,400 acres worth of property, and a bunch of there was a community that was in the 1700s. I know it's not Dutch. I can't think of the name of it. But there was a community that had plenty of homes that were on one side of this farm. And so you got the opportunities there to find great stuff, right? There's 1,800 home sites. There is Quaker. That's right, Quinn. It was a Quaker community that was on site. So then you got all these sites. And what the people at Digstock do is a couple of days before, they send you out all this information. You get maps of what they know about the website or about the sites. They say that basically that it's that it's undug for what they know, and to some degree you can buy into that. But I have to think that over the years that somebody's been on them fields. Maybe they don't, maybe not legally or with permission, but somebody had been there, because, you just know that, like my county, I know where every homestead was that was in a farm field that was documented. I got a map. I can find it. I can go there. So you can't keep people away from it, because a lot of these are out in the middle of nowhere. People are going to jump ship and go do what they want. So I can't believe that. So, but these home sites are there, and the rule of thumb is that nobody gets it all. So first you're given all these places that you can go dig, and what they represented, where they were at. Some had, old roads running next to them. Some had railroads there. There was everything you could think of was on this map. to go and dig. And it's 4,400 acres and 275 people. So plenty of room for everybody. We dig it. What's up, bro? Thank you, Gene, my other partner. You have to go back and watch the beginning because I had a nice little chat about our stay up there, brother. But anyway, getting back to the point is that so you're here, you are. You walk in, you have a rules meeting, they let you know what the expectations are. They don't, there's a lot of dumb stuff that happens because people, sometimes metal detectorists are lazy, they don't cover holes and stuff like that. All in all, this time, some of the same stuff happened. I saw people picking up other people's trash or cleaning up stuff like that, and you just can't avoid that. Garage workouts, welcome to the chat. Let me make you a moderator so that you may post in here if you want to post a channel or a link. I got you. Okay. So it's never going to be perfect in an event. We should all understand that. You should go in there with the expectations of not being able to find a whole lot, but being able to dig and have the opportunity. That's what it's all about. We all had the opportunity to find some great stuff. Saturday, it was the first day we went out to dig. They're supposed to have a review meeting, in the morning before you go dig. Everybody shows up, and we showed up right about 7 o'clock. And as we were walking up, that meeting was over. Everybody was running out to go dig holes. Oh yeah, Rach, I got it. So we go get in our vehicle. Ken, Practical Ken had been working on a site that had some, everything was kind of closely packed. There was possibly 2 home sites, an old barn, and then the railroads, and then there was a road that ran through there that wasn't there anymore. So on Saturday morning, our group, we dig it, Practical Ken, myself, and B. Higgles, we headed over and we went to this field. And first and foremost, nobody else was coming to this field right away. So we thought, hey, this is good. Maybe it's not going to be crowded or whatnot. But the trek back to these home sites and where the old road was probably the better part of a mile. And you're carrying your gear and stuff like that. And the corn stalks were kind of up, and they were kind of, it wasn't going to be easy digging, but there were some spots out there. We migrated out there. We get going, and we're digging, and we're finding the remnants of these home sites. You're finding square nails and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a long mile at 25 degrees. The island boy was freezing. Yeah, Gene was like, he couldn't get his fingers to warm up. But when you live at 85 year round, that's how that works. So we get out here and we spend probably a better part of half of the day. We're out here working around this. Now, here's the other thing that was a really kind of, I noticed, and not going to ever mention anybody's names or whatnot. So this was my take. I think that some people really work hard in groups. We worked as a group as trying to narrow down, find hot spots, and then pound it. That's what we did with our foursome. But we were all within sights difference of one another. We were all hanging right out there, and it was, we were right there together. And so we all kind of knew where we were at. Brian and I were started out on one side. Gene and Ken started out on the other, and we just kind of worked our way up and down where we thought all this stuff was. Ken's research was excellent. We were right on top of where we thought we would be. We figured out where the road was and the railroad. We had a really good understanding of the way that property looked in the past. So we kind of work our way around in it, square nails, a lot of trash. Start coming back down the hill, and then Ken is on the site where one of the home sites where he thought was, I think it was an 1860 home. And Ken is trying to be as nonchalant and quiet as possible because, he doesn't want to draw the crowd. And so because we're, trying to help make sure that we all find good stuff. Appreciated, Ken's candor in that situation. It works out really nice. And so, we come down over the hill. We realize that Ken made a find of a nice coin. I don't know if he put that in his video on Monday because I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was driving. I'm not going to lie. Haven't watched any videos this week hardly, except for just a few. But he finds a nice coin, and and then I think he found a button down there as well. So he's kind of he's probably keyed up about where he's at. The word kind of gets back to us, and we're kind of all in this kind of same area. Now, there's people that come through, and there was somebody that come through a little bit while later, and Brian and I was digging to China. So there was what felt like a big square box in the ground. And, what do people like us think when you hit something square, you tap on it with your shovel, it's a steel lid, and it sounds hollow. You think it's a box. So what do you think's in a box? Well, my first thought's buried treasure. I mean, you're out here metal detecting. What else are you going to think's in the box? Buried treasure. So Higgles and I, we started going shovel crazy. And we're down there on the ground. We're cleaning out this area. This hole's about 18, 20 inches around. And we're just digging down. We've gotten the outlines of this thing, and finally start to get it to pop loose or whatever. And about the time we get it pop loose, another detectorist comes cruising through, and wasn't like they were being very careful what they checked or anything like that. And they came through, and there was another guy over there, and he had just found something nice. So this detectorist went over and was talking, and then, and we're sitting there on the ground digging out our target. And then you do notice that people are working in groups. So next thing you know, hey, you guys ought to come over here, da 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 da. And then we're sitting here in this area, and we got flocked by about 6-7 people total at the time. And so everybody's kind of piling in to try to make sure that there's nothing good here. Yeah. And then the other thing is that if you start getting in the same area, 2 to 3 people, everybody just kind of flocks too. So we found a home site. There was a couple targets. Brian dug a gold gilded button there. And then one of them was really was triple plated silver, something like that. And they were both probably English made based on the way that the words were written. So Brian's got a couple buttons. Ken's got a couple of good items. I come down the hill. I dig some kind of an escutcheon that was copper, kind of like a round disc. So we proceed to hammer this spot for just a little while, and everybody kind of shows up. And really, just in the end, there wasn't a whole lot there. But hey, there was a couple good things that come out of the ground there. So we go, and I think at that point we decide we're going to have lunch. Lunch on day one. So lunch on day one consisted of running back to the house, getting a plan for the rest of day one, which we were going to go invade the Quaker community. We thought we'd go try that out because there was a lot of 1700s sites there. We figured that would be a nice place to go and hang out next and try for a little while. So we ate our lunch, and we got back out there, and we get to this site, and everybody just scatters, right? Everybody goes their own direction. I ended up across the road and about half a field over, and my phone starts going flipping nuts. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what? I'm like, so I look down, and I see a post, and then my phone rings, I think. And Ken's like, hey, I just found this. You got to come over here. You guys got to come over here. At this point, I'm a mile down the road. I'm on the next property over, checking this hilltop out where this raised area was. So I pack my stuff. We head over there, and Ken's got 2 coins, and he hands me one. And like I said, I'm not positive how his videos worked out or anything like that yet, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But he hands me one, and it's a very exciting silver coin, the first one that he hands over. And I looked at it, and immediately knew exactly what it was. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rob. But so we're sitting there, and I'm kind of trying to look at it, and at the same time, he's trying to play it cool because he doesn't want everybody to pummel this area, because he's got another coin in his box, and we haven't had a chance to look at this yet. And I'm just in awe over the first coin, because that is one of the coins that everybody is looking to get when they show up there. That's high on everybody's list. Okay, so anyway, so Ken, I just wanted to be sure. I didn't want to spoil anything on your thing. So Ken has dug this beautiful 1 real, and it is absolutely stunning. A little worn, but what do you expect? I mean, it's pretty worn. A coin's been in the ground for that long. It's got it. It's in Practical Ken's video. You got to go see, because this dude was trying so hard to be cool and not alert anybody that he just found something exciting. Yeah, just he blow his top, and so he's in down there and he's got this other coin. Well, I'm focused in on the real because I love Spanish silver. There's nothing more fun to find. I've only found one piece of it in my life, and it was melted so bad that I couldn't get a date. This coin here was awesome. And so congratulations, Ken. I think he's found one other real before, but yeah, he's all lethargic and just being chill. And we're like, oh, and I'm like, I'm excited. He's like telling me to chill. Then Gene shows up, and then we start looking at this other coin. Now, here's the funny thing about this other coin. This other coin is about the same size. When I saw it, the first thing I thought of was a half cent, an early half cent. And we're within 10 to 15 foot of the first coin that came out of the ground. And I'm looking over, and Gene picks up this coin, and I'm looking at it, and it's as green. It's as green as this Indian head penny. I mean, this is the color that coin was sitting there coming in at. And all your brain can do is say, man, that thing's been in the ground for a long time. Oh my gosh, wonder what it is. Da 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 da. And but at first look, you couldn't see no detail on it, and I didn't have spectacles on me. I left my backpack in the car this time because I didn't feel like toting it around. Well, Gene shows up. He's getting excited over the real, and he's like, "Hey, let me see the other coin." And so we whip the coin out, and Gene's guy gets his eyeballs on it. He's looking at it, he's like, "Ken?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "You're not gonna believe it, but this is a clad quarter." And this coin had turned very green, and it was a 2014, and it had that color. I mean, I thought it had been in the ground for 150 years. I mean, I really did. I mean, no doubt in my mind when I saw it. He looks at that coin. It's a clad quarter. It's a 2014 clad quarter. It's a States quarter that was sitting right there. So in the matter of 10 feet in the middle of this pasture field, Ken pulls out, a 1700s Spanish silver and a clad quarter from 2014. And, and we dug around for a good while in that area. There was a couple little things that come out of ground. Yeah, it did cause a laugh, Mandy. We were, what's the possibility, the chances of that happening? So it's definitely just weird. And so we hammered that spot out. A couple people came by there and dug for a little bit, and it was all good. Okay, Kitty. After that, we bounced around and dug a little bit. I can't even remember what we did at this point, but we're just going to call that primarily the end of the day. So, so at the end of the first day, Gene had squat like me. I think we had one minorly decent target, and then Ken had the 2 coins. Brian had a couple buttons. The day wasn't horrible. As a group, it wasn't bad. Yeah, Brian, it's coming. Muck and Nails Magnificent, welcome to the chat today. I'm going to add you as a moderator. Please feel free to share your channel link, anything that you want to self-promote or somebody that you want to promote. You have that ability to drop those links. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little while tonight. Yeah, and then so yeah, okay, Ken. Let's not talk about. We're going to slow down here for just a minute. Yeah, Ken found a silver chain too. It's not what you think, so don't even get excited. So, man, you know what? The one thing I noticed about this group of guys that was hanging out together, um, we all like to eat and we like to put down some food. So we get done digging for the day. We go back to the house. We get changed and get ready to go. And the Valcor Brewery was in the next town. Um, it's an old military base. This building was awesome. Check it out online if you want. It's a really cool place. It's just old school pub where they make food. Everything's like handmade and it's really good. We rolled in there, not knowing what to expect, and the waitress says, "Hey, the cook has had some leftover brats, and he's made up this soup today, and he wants to know, would you like a bowl of it? Kind of like our soup of the day." So we're starving. We're like, "Yeah, we could use some soup." She brought us out these 4 bowls of this soup, and we sit there and we start eating it, and it was, I mean, absolutely full of meat and vegetables. Tasted so good. That soup was so much it could have been a meal. There's no way around it. Could have been a meal. My daughter's cat thinks that he deserves to have attention when I'm talking. So we sit there and we had this. We all ordered different type of things. Uh, Yeah, I know, man. Okay, just chill, Jason. It's definitely worth mentioning because it was amazing. Um, anyway, so we have this soup. We each get different items for dinner. They have this baked mac and cheese that you can add stuff to. It was amazing. Thank you, Expressions of the Outdoors. I appreciate you hanging out. Everybody, check them out. So, so the baked mac and cheese you could substitute in was absolutely amazing. Oh, what's that? I'm sorry, Jason. It's really not worth mentioning. What's that? I'm sorry. Got me confused. Oh, I saw, dude. Congratulations on the silver, bro. Definitely. Um, so we get each of us gets food the first day. Everybody can remind me. I know I had a burger that had. I was talking to you, bro. Oh yeah, I was talking to another Jason at that time. I forget there's multiple guys with the same name in these chats. Um, so my deal was I got this burger and Gene had the smoked hog or the smoking hog and basically a burger with pulled pork barbecue on it, coleslaw, and I can't remember what else, some kind of a sauce. And these burgers were, I mean, they were this big around. Um, when I got my burger and I held it all together and tried to get a bite of it, my first bite I couldn't, and thick bacon. Yeah, God, how can you forget the bacon? My first bite, I couldn't even get to the bun. I mean, there was so much meat on this burger. So, and it goes without saying that we decided that instead of eating anywhere else, we were only going to eat in this restaurant for the next 3 days. Uh, yeah. So we're going to eat in this place for the next 3 days, and the food was amazing. We went home that night and we started sitting down to at the dinner table at the house, contemplating on what our day was going to consist of on day 2. Heartache hamburger, yes sir, Frank, very much so. That is what I say. Frank, I don't know if you've got a channel or not, but I'll make you a moderator just because when people come in here, I want to know that they've been here before. So you are now blue, sir. So we go back and we're stuffed. Everybody's kind of, our day is pretty well spent. No problem, sir. We get back and we're starting to contemplate on day 2 because day 1, although it was very successful, all things considered. What's up, James? Iron Antler. Everything was super successful. Everybody had a great, had a pretty good day. we actually pulled out some really nice targets and nobody was complaining about it. We wanted to try to do something a little different on day 2, because what we had realized is that all these documented home sites, everybody was really hitting hard. They were going through and pounding and moving on. So some people were trying to hang out as far wide as they could and dig as many holes. Main Dirt Sweepers, what's up? Got your stickers and stuff. On next week or so like that, I'm going to show off your stuff in here. Thank you for the handout. I appreciate it. So Ken gets on the phone. Ken's on the phone with several other people, not mentioning names or whatever, because I really don't know. Wasn't really sure. And basically says that, hey, this one field, pretty sure that there was a couple undocumented home sites on this field. Next to several other sites. It was kind of out of the way. And so, we're like, hey, that sounds great. We'll get out here. It was on a main road. And so we figured that we would, go out and give it a shot, because at this point in time, a lot of these sites, these guys that are out here digging, they don't mess around. Everybody's looking for the good targets. I mean, they're going to hammer it. They're going to section off areas. They're going to cover a lot of ground, and they're going to do what they can to find as much as possible, because not only is it a social event where you're trying to, get out there and acknowledge and meet your buddies that you haven't met, or from YouTube, or make new friends, which we made new friends as well. But you're out there, you want to find stuff. You want to have stuff to put on the table. You want to have a great opportunity to share what you find and come up with something good. So we're out, everybody's digging. Our arms are about ready to fall off. So anyway, Sunday morning, we wake up. Sunday mornings, even colder yet. We get out and we get out to the car, and poor St. Croix, Caribbean island boy is freezing to death. I don't think he's seen 25 since he was a teenager. I'm pretty sure he hasn't seen, that kind. And there was a little bit of a breeze coming across this field, and it cut right through you. Well, it wasn't too bad, but it did. It cut right through us. We were all cold that morning. Sun hadn't come up. If you look at my thumbnail for this, I turned around and faced Vermont. Lake Champlain was there. You could see the mountains of Vermont as the sun was rising that morning. That's what I put on the thumbnail for this week. I thought it was appropriate. Yeah, and so it was cold, and we're working our way out. And Gene, do you want me to save your target for your video? I'm really curious, because Ken said he wasn't really worried. So, or are you saving it? Because I can definitely keep it under wraps. But yeah, it was cold, and we started digging around, looking around, and Brian goes one way, and Brian digs some nice lead and a button really fast, I think going out towards the east. And Ken went straight out into the field, and then I was going up the row towards the road by the house. And we started out very, very, very slow. There was a lot of people coming on this road. A lot of people were going to the very back of the property. And then there was another field on the other side. A debuckle and 2 bullets, right, Brian? And then there was people going in the other fields. Not very many people was coming in this field. All right, Gene, I got you. It's a nice surprise. You got to see it. We're cruising along, and then we get the Gene created a group text through our phones, just a regular phones instead of through Facebook. And all I see is Gene go. It says Largie on there, and Gene on his bucket list was looking for a large scent, and so he's all the way in the front of the field. Brian's further back behind me, and Ken has already worked his way up there. I was working up the side, so it wasn't a mile hike, and it started headed up there. And get up there, and Gene is whipping out this large cent, and you can look at it, you can see it. Everything's really cool. The back of the yeah, I probably BC, I would agree with that. So we're getting up there, and Gene whips out this tacoed coin, and this tacoed coin looks really strange. The wreath and the 1 cent on the back doesn't look quite right. Yeah. I'm getting there. Oh, well, so Gene finds the coin. Gene has no filter for emotion at this point. He's yelling for Ken to come over because he's wound up and excited, and he's got this coin. But this coin doesn't look right, and we're sitting there debating it. And I think the words came out of my mouth at one time wasn't positive though, because we really wanted to get more details off of it and get there. But if anybody in here swings the Knox, this thing was ringing like a 17, and a U.S. large cent is going to ring like pretty close to a quarter, 24 to 28 in that ballpark, maybe even higher depending upon how deep and how flat it is. This coin was bent over, kind of taco shaped, so it wasn't quite flat, but there's no way that coin should have rang that low. And you could look into the coin in the green, and you could see stress cracks in that coin. And so I at one point in time, I mentioned that I thought it might be fake, but I wasn't sure. We'd have to, look a little bit harder because I don't know the composition, of all of them. Maybe I'm not positive. I don't know for sure. And so there's a home site there now. These buttons start popping out of the ground. I come up, and I'm gonna be. Let me see what happened. So Brian starts working his way up. So now we've all converged on the very front side of this field, right in the middle. There's a high spot there, and we're all working this area. Nice buttons are starting to come out of the ground. Ken, I think Gene digs at this point is when Gene digs another coin, and I think the other, I'm still not 100% sure, but I think the other coin was a British largie and a British halfpenny. I'm sorry. And because I wasn't, and it was clipped, right? It was a clipped copper. And I believe it was British, but here's the thing about that. It didn't ring up the way that it should have rang up either. It sounded like US when that one rang up. I did get to meet Wicked Digger. Chris rolls in the parking lot there really fast since he's in the chat. Man comes right up and hangs out with us. I was glad to meet him. Got a quick hug from Chris, and everybody went on their way. And everybody was so fired up about what they were doing. We did not get a chance to go back and hang out with everybody that we really wanted to on, later on. I mean, we've seen Chris before the meeting, and I don't think I saw him again. Also, Rob from Mainly Dirt Fishing came up and tried to take over at the tent because Brian and I were trying to figure out what to do with our raffle tickets. And Rob's sitting there going, yeah, we'll have to put your tickets in right here. This is what you get. And the girls were trying to explain it to us, but he wasn't having none of it. Rob was taking over the show. He wanted to make sure that he was very helpful to what we were doing. And it was his first time there as well. And I know he dug a couple targets. I watched his video last night, or at least some of it. Yeah, I know, Chris, another day would have been fantastic. I would have loved it to be 3 days of digging, but it wasn't in the cards. But I think that's what's going to be in the spring. So we're converging on this spot. Everybody's digging. Nice stuff. Sean from Berks County Metal Detecting was coming up, and he rolled in, and I can't remember the other guy's name that rolled up as well. And they kind of noticed what everybody was doing, and they rolled in. We were trying to be coy and just, if they dug it, they dug it. If not, they would go on their way. But really after that, Ace, Swing for the Ring, shows up as well. He's digging, and Ace, the two guys, and then there was one other guy I didn't know. And then I got a phone call at lunch because we decided to stay out there and not quit, and keep on digging. And and then Scuba Sonia and the Michigan Magnet Man gave me a call. Dutch Boy, that's right. So they gave me a call. They were supposed to swing with me. They called and asked where we were at. I told them what road we were on and to come find us. So inevitably, we had a site out there. Oh, let me refresh that a little bit. We worked our way different. We split up for a little while longer after we started finding stuff. We kind of combed that whole area to make sure there wasn't another home site there before we came back and pounded it. I did get a semi bucket lister toy. I'm not spilling until I put my video out because it's going to be next week. I do have a bit of bad news that I'll get to here in a second. I did have a bit of a bucket lister toy that I had never found, and then we went back the other way. And a few minutes later, dug a few odds and ends, and then another copper comes out of the ground for myself. Sean and Gene were sitting right next to me talking, and I plopped this coin out. Pretty worn. We look at it. We determine that it's something that I've been looking for a very long time. So Gene and Sean are standing about 10 foot away. I popped this coin. I'm happy as all get out that I found this coin. And then at this point in time, I start circling this area, because when I start finding, a concentration, instead of walking a line, I just work a circle, go around in a circle and work my way outwards until I get a certain radius. And then I go back to walking lines again. So, man, everything just starts coming out of the ground at this point, one right after the other. The next thing was then a few minutes later, maybe 15, 20 minutes later, still working it, another semi bucket lister. It's not a huge bucket lister, because it's a huge bucket lister because of what it is. I don't know how to explain it. It's a different style of button that I had never found, and it was absolutely amazing. And I was very fired up at this point. So at this point in the day, we're just a little bit after lunch, and we've all had such a great day on Sunday that there's no replacing it, because now, our experience consists of, we got to meet a bunch of great people that we wanted to meet. We took part in a great event that was well put together. Nothing is perfect in this world, so don't go thinking that everything was 100% amazing and perfect. They did a good job. It was on something Military Road, Chris. That's where we were at. Oh, see? And they had a nice field too. Okay, gotcha. So, the event ended up, as we were on our way home, there was posts going out there about somebody planting stuff in the ground. And let me tell you something about the guys from Digstock. They already knew about what was going on. They had not released their statement about it yet, but they were already in the process of handling this situation, where somebody had said something that they had pulled out of the ground that obviously was obviously false by the post and what they showed us. But them guys work very hard at putting on a very real, honest event. A natural hunt is tough it's really hard to do that. And they did a great job of handling everything that went on in that event. There was one incident that happened during Sunday when we went back to the tent at the end of the day, and it was only because, and it was just really a miscommunication thing. Just, I didn't think it should have happened, and definitely won't bring it up too much, but it was all resolved. It wasn't really that big of a deal, but they handled everything awesome. They took care of a lot of different things. They put forth a great effort. Yeah, you know what? Yes, Rachel, that's probably true. And who really knows? If anybody wants to do something like that just to look good, so be it. I would rather, like I told you all before, I'd rather dig trash and be happy than lie. So that's the way that really goes. And to anybody that does that, well, good for you. There's B3. What's up, Chris? Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in, my brother. Definitely nice to see you in here every once in a while. Also, still doing the St. Jude's thing. Haven't really had much time to promote it much lately, but if you go check out B3 or the page, we can post the link in here. I'll definitely hit that up again before the end of the year. That's going to be something that I'm going to start back on in December. Plus, we've still got some stuff to hand out over that at the end of it. So basically and also at the end of the day with that, there's going to be free entries into that giveaway so I can stay within the rules of YouTube. And so there will be free entries as well for some really nice prizes at the end of the year. Not doing Christmas this year. We're doing St. Jude's recognition prizes. So stay tuned for that. That'll be really good. I will definitely be posting that. So all in all, Sunday goes by. We go back out. Everything is right in the world. We as a group, Monday Digs, guys, we had a fantastic weekend. We dug up a ton of treasure. Not all of it was beautiful and stuff like that, but we dug up a ton of stuff. It was a lot of fun. We're gonna do something again in North Carolina. If anybody wants to be involved with us at North Carolina, I'm going to start putting that stuff together very soon. So basically, everybody has the opportunity to hang out and move around. I think I know where we're going to stay, or at least the area. I'm going to start shopping for an Airbnb. If you go to one of these events, I suggest you meet up with friends, share an Airbnb, because the cost of the Airbnb for each of us, I know, Gene, I was kind of aware. The invite's still there if that changes. Basically, what we did for the four of us in this house had everything. For four of us in this house, it cost us less than $65 a piece a day to stay there, which was phenomenal. So, an Airbnb with a group of friends where you can hang out and get to know one another better. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah. Well, let me speak to that for the Digstock guys for just a minute. The Digstock event has now down there in North Carolina this year. It's going to be close to 1,000 people. It's going to be their largest event ever. Also, there is going to be gold panning. They've added them in there. Gold panning, bottle dump digging, magnet fishing. It's going to have everything, and I think it's like $210. So it's an extra day. So you get a chance to do more stuff and meet more people at the North Carolina event. And so if you get the opportunity to go, if you're not in a group of folks, find a group. If you want to go down, there's people that show up down here by themselves and then they just go out and have a blast. They try to meet people, but definitely recommend checking out the Digstock events. And if you really want to participate, it's worthwhile. Look, I mean, I can tell you right now that Gene, myself, Ken, and Brian had a weekend that we'll not soon forget. We definitely are already looking forward to being able to get together again. And that's what it's all about. And, making friends and having a good time. That's what YouTube's about. It's about hanging out with my buddies. I've met more nice people in here and good people in here than I ever would meet in real life, because maybe I'm different in here. Maybe I'm a little more outgoing. I offer myself out a little bit more, readily. I'm a little tighter knit on trust, when you're close, when you're in a day-to-day, personal relationship in front of you. So, yeah, Rachel. Yeah, Don, real life does kind of suck sometimes. Being in here is cool because we've all found family, and in finding family and people that you can really relate to. Like we were going through my phone, just going through my phone with people that had my phone number from this community that I talked to fairly regularly. And that number was over 120 people, 120 contacts in my phone of people that I've met in here. Yeah, Swampy, we love you too, brother. And Swampy's been magnet fishing a lot lately. Was a big contributor on Mondays, and I definitely miss talking to the guy daily. There's Charlie digging it back. There's another one of those fellows. He's one of those 120 some contacts in my phone. Got a lot of love. Yeah, you could have. Rachel, look, there was plenty of room. We didn't realize we rented this house, and Ken ended up with the room with the 2 single beds, but there was couches and entertainment centers upstairs. There was couches, a just giant TV downstairs, also an extra love seat. There were so many places that a human being could have slept in that house that it wouldn't have, it wasn't nothing. We had, the bedrooms were nice. Everything was just really good. Yeah, I know. Ken was last choice, so he got delegated to the 2 single beds, probably the kids' room, and there was pretty thin mattresses in there. So Ken got delegated down to like a servant status in that instance. But it is you first come first serve on where you get to sleep. But it was definitely a ton of fun. Since everybody that's come in here and hung out with me today, here in about 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to drop an Amazon gift card in here tonight for somebody. Not announced. Definitely don't call your buddies. Anybody that's still hanging out in here, I want everybody that's here to have an opportunity to win because you hung out with me today. Ken was not serving drinks, but Ken was trying to get a video uploaded for Monday. He was busy when we were not not digging, and he was trying to prepare us for digs. Ken is a research fool. Ken has interest in archaeology. He has lots of interest in different ways of research. He's taught me a lot about research, and I thought I was doing pretty dang good. Yeah, you were in the your Hobbit feet. You were in a kid's bed, bro. But that's okay. Ken, it's all good. You could have had one of them couches, brother. They were nice and huge. But all things considered, the ride home was, so there's pictures out there, Tony. Gene is 6'5", and a lot of us are right around the 5'4" mark. That's probably a consensus of the 3 of us. We're short. We're not big people. And there's a picture out there that we're all standing back in the field that Brian set up with his tripod, and we're all back in there behind it. And Gene looked like Gandalf in the 3 Hobbits is what it looked like. I mean, that's what it looked like. Lord of the Rings, man. We was the 3 Hobbits standing next to Gandalf. He had his big walking stick there, and yes. So across the way, Charlie, I looked over, everybody said, "Hey, where did Gene go? Where did Gene go?" And all I did was I scanned the crowd one time. I looked for the head above the rest with a hat on, and there he was. And he was all the way across the way. He was a little bit taller than Jason, quarter horder, and Jason's a big dude. He's a tall dude too. But yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, Tim, bless you. I will absolutely do it. $25 today for you folks for hanging out. That's compliments of Alley Cat Treasures. And let me tell you about that guy right there. Tim's an amazing person. I enjoy my conversations with Tim as much as I do anybody. I have more in common with this guy than a lot of people. I feel a very strong connection to Tim. He has done very nice things for my family, and we love him. but absolutely will be a $25 Amazon gift card, and it'll go at about 10 after 10 today. We will probably, yeah, I got you, Tony. If I haven't seen it, and maybe I did or didn't, but I'll definitely send it out. I'm available. I'm available for you guys all the time. Anybody that contacts me, I definitely make time to try to have a conversation and work with. If anything I can do to help, I'm definitely down for that. Dirt Diggers UK, welcome to the chat. What time is it in your neck of the woods? Let me make you a mod. Hang out a little bit. Please post your link in here. I think you were in here once before, but I can't remember. But I know that that's a very good channel. Them British guys, them British channels are awesome. But yeah, so I come out of there with basically one major bucket lister, two other moderate ones that have things that I just haven't found, and everything happened within about an hour and a half. Also, there's Mark Miller, another great guy in here, does all the songs for the Flash in Your Pan event, hangs out. Yeah, man, it's another good guy right there. Oh, see Happy Chappy's in the chat as well. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate that. Gonna roll off. Let me get this set up. Oh, I bet I don't have it set up on this computer. So let me find a random comment picker. Oh no, I know what. Wasn't expecting to do one today. Basically, decided that I wasn't gonna mention giveaways anymore, because when you mention giveaways and you promote it, you get a lot of people in your chat, but it's not people that really care about the chat. So I'm definitely not announcing stuff anymore until I'm ready to announce it, and just do it random, because the guys that show up are the ones that I care about. Let me see if I can get that thing brought up here really fast. I thought I had it, but I guess I don't. Oh, I remember. 1 second, folks. Okay, there we go. Thirsty Thursday. One word. This will be for the giveaway. I'm only going to say it once, so if you don't see it, too bad. Hashtag Digstock. Don't put it in yet. Hold on. All right. You can start entering right now. Get them all in here, and we will do that here in just a little bit. Let me go back and say that next week, Mike from Metal Detecting North Carolina will be in here. We will be celebrating Veterans Day. And we're going to have some veteran stories. So if anybody has interest, that is a veteran and coming up for a little while next week, please drop me an email at one of the addresses below. Let me know that you would like to be on. Give me some idea what you would like to talk about, because I've got a story that I need Mike's help for, and I'm going to save my South Carolina visit for that talk. And Mike is gracious enough to come in here and do that with me. So we're up to 26 entries. We got 44 in the house. But yeah, man, you gotta take the time in here for the veterans. I really. What about veterinarians? Hey, you know what, BC? People that love animals, I'm down with them too. Anybody that'll take care of an animal has my heart as well. Let's see. Kim's Nature Channel. What's up, Kim? Nice of you to stop by. Thank you for being in here. 513. Trevor, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. Hey, you're close enough, Trevor. Would you like to be included in the dig that I'm going to do here next month? It'll be about a little more than about an hour and a half from your house. If you'd like to be involved, just let me know. I know you don't, Mark, but it is definitely an Amazon gift card that's instant gratification, simple. Also, at the end of the year. Oh, okay. I thought I sent it to you, Tony. I didn't want to say nothing. Also, at the end of the year, I gave out gift cards in other people's streams, and then I gave out some in my stream at some point in time where people did not cash them in. I reached out to those people a second time. If they didn't cash them gift cards, I can resend them to a new address. So if you won one, you better go check your email to look to see if I sent you a gift card, because if you didn't and it's still there, I'm going to re-give those away because I've already paid for them. But anyway, Digstock, outstanding event. Go in with the expectation that you're going to meet people and you're going to have an opportunity to find great things. Trevor, I got somebody that's fairly close to you. Let me talk to you. Let me see if I can find if you're close enough. Let me see if I can find a way to get you a ride. If you're close enough, we're gonna hammer out a War of 1812, a post-War of 1812 fort field, and then I got another thing to bring up about that, because now that is I think he's north of Cincinnati, in that ballpark, in that area. So here's the other bad thing that happened. That's what I meant. I thought you were close, Don. I didn't want to suggest it until I talked to you. So here's the bad news of the week. So as we got up there, I had just about filled up another 256 gigabyte card of digs. So what happened was I left the GoPro in the car, and these SanDisk micro SD cards, if they get cold, you have the ability to lose your footage. I lost over 4 hours of footage on Sunday morning when I went to change cards, or Sunday evening when I got home. I realized I lost it. So I lost over 4 hours of dig footage. The site that we're going to take everybody to, recently, I just pulled out a first year 2-cent piece in a spot that had been dug 20 times. I lost most all of that footage. I got enough footage like for 3 weeks worth of videos, and I lost a bunch. I lost the whole first day of Digstock. I lost several bucket listers that I found in the last month or so. It's about 4.5 weeks of footage, and it does suck, but it's okay. I still got footage, and what I'm going to do is on my Monday videos, Miss Mary, what's up? It is a beautiful coin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add an excerpt into each of my videos showing something that I didn't get a chance to show this year because I lost the footage too. So my video may have a little bit of old stuff in it, and it might have a few pictures of finds that I didn't get to show you all this year, because I've had the last 3 months, my year has gotten a lot better. I've started to find better stuff this year. Whereas early in the year, except for the trips I was on, well, I still got it, Rachel. I still got the card, but what's the program? Because it's still on there, but it says I need to reformat the card. Hey, Wheaties are phenomenal finds, John or Frank. You cannot shake a stick at a coin that can be over 100 years old. You know, that's still great finds. I will dig Wheaties all day long. Looter 8. Everybody, Looter 8 will be joining us next Monday for Monday Digs. Please stop in and support. Looter 8 will be their first time there. I will definitely have a link. Thank you, Rachel. Well, I heard maybe we can save this footage. If I can save this footage, I will be so happy. Oh my gosh. But any guys, yeah, so Looter 8 is going to be in and kind of on a fill-in, bounce around schedule because that's what I do with the new channels that come in. You come in, I put you at different times. When somebody doesn't show up, somebody doesn't always have a video, so I bounce you around a little bit until we work you into. And part of our new plan going forward, starting soon, we're going to feature one, maybe two longer videos than 13 minutes every week. So we're going to work into some longer videos and working in a few more newer channels into some of them primetime spots as well. So that if you have a channel that, you're not getting 20 or you're not getting a lot of views, when we have the most people on, we're going to move people into those slots so that they get some notoriety for their content. More people get to see it, and so that we can do more to help out small channels. That is the goal, because that's what we've done in here. We've helped build up channels, and that's what we're continually going to do. That's the main goal of the Monday Digs, is to help you grow your channel, but do it in a group environment where you have resources of help, resources of motivation, resources of different things to kind of help keep you going. And yeah, Brian, moral of the story is I should never left my camera in the car that night, and I don't even know why I did. And that's the bad part about it. We're ready to draw this. It is going to be a $25 gift card. I'm going to get the share screen up. Thank you to Tim at Alley Cat Treasures for kicking that in. He's my hero. Another thing, what the heck is that? That's wrong. There it is. Another thing I want to mention, I am going to be doing a very original type stream in December. Let me get this fixed really fast. There we go. There's going to be, if any of you remember, yeah, I know, Brian. My train of thought was to get in the house and relax. That's what my train of thought was. All right, Charlie. See you, brother. Rules of this here is that you still must be present to claim this prize. That's it, and that's all. I don't care if you're subscribed or not. It doesn't much matter. If you're in here still, you can claim this prize. Just a few more minutes. Our friend Nick over at Tionic, which used to be Take It On, has been on this adventure this season. If any of you guys have been watching the videos, he's been hunting down historic keys. My friend Brack Rails has put on this event for the year, and he's hidden all these keys around. So I think it's December 3rd, I'm going to be live streaming that night. Don't care who else is on, because I'm doing it for him. I'm going to live stream the event to see whose key opens the box. The winner gets $5,000, and I think Nick has 40 some keys out on this deal. So we're all going to. I'm going to broadcast it so that I can support Nick, and hopefully he gets to walk out of there with $5,000. There's a kicker that's going to happen if he wins. I can't wait for everybody to see it. But, there's going to be some give back. Nick is a great dude. He spent a whole year pursuing this with his family, and I'm definitely going to stream this whole event. that night, it's going to be kind of like showing a sporting event. You're probably not going to see my ugly face a whole lot, but you're going to hear me talk. I do too. He's a, he has really taken out a lot of the time that he spends out digging. He's put it back into his family where it's a group thing and done great stuff with it this year. I hope he puts out a few more videos, but Tyonic, if somebody would drop Nick's link in here so you can kind of go over and check out some of his videos before the stream, and that would be fantastic. For the rest of you all, thank you guys for being here. Got all the entries that I'm going to receive in here, and I'm going to roll it out right now. $25 gift card from Amazon, compliments of Alley Cat Treasures. Thank you all very much for being here tonight. I love you all. Here we go. Must be present to win. Miss Patty Disharoon. Miss Patty, are you still in the chat? Miss Patty. We got 2 minutes to claim at 10:17. I just need to see Patty chat, and I can't look at the other screen, so I'll see it last. You guys will see it before I will. There she is, right there. Miss Patty, I need you text me an email address that you use. That's all I need. I just need your personal email that you use, and I will send you an Amazon gift card via email. Easy peasy. I'll send you $25, and you can spend it at Amazon however you like. I'm sure you can find something to go along with that brand new legend that you won. So, and congratulations, Miss Patty. That's good karma. Good people have nice things that happen to them. People that do right by others. We've had a lot of fun chatting up. I love seeing your finds. Congratulations. You're definitely a deserving winner. Yay. Okie dokie. Let me get that comment down. Yeah, I like it when that works out. It's a ton of fun. So I did lose my footage. I do have about 3 weeks worth of stuff to put out. I will be dropping a Digstock video next Monday. I decided to go ahead and put that one out, hit while everybody else was. Yeah. So that video will be out. I will reveal all my finds then, and you can see myself, Gene, Ken, and Brian getting to spend time together. Wouldn't trade that weekend for the world. Love those guys. We're all very different people. We all come from different backgrounds. We have different belief systems. We're as 4 different people as you can put together in a room, and yet not a single issue amongst all of us. We had love for one another. I beat on Ken like a rented mule. I'm not going to lie. Ken has a few things about his personality that I tend to just hammered on, but it was out of love, and I hope he understands that. Yeah, I got to meet Action 5, Main Relic Hunters. We saw him more than once. He was the topic of conversation Sunday evening for sure. Yeah, and by the way, I got Ash that decided that he had to be on camera today. He keeps jumping up in my lap. I'm wearing flip-flops and no socks, and he's been chewing up my ankles. Oh, I got you. I didn't know that. I'm sorry that I don't know who's all is related to who, but well, that's nice. We did get to meet him. Ken already knew him. That's cool, Ken. You're more than welcome to say anything you want. No holds barred, brother. Everybody, once again, congratulate Miss Patty Disharoon for the $25 gift card. As soon as I get her email, I'll send that over to her. Hey, Mary, Ken, they can't pick on me about my height. Just saying. Gene can say whatever he wants. But nobody else in that group has anything to say about my height, I don't think. I know. Yeah, that's just it. Mary's about the same height as well. But as much as I would love to hang out and sit in here and talk about nothing, I don't like to sit and talk about nothing. I like to have some form of content going while I'm in here. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you for showing up today. I missed you guys. Next week, we'll be talking about Veterans Day. We will have some veterans in here. If you're a veteran and would like to participate next Thursday, please drop me an email. Let me know that you're interested in being in here. Mike, Metal Detecting North Carolina, will be in here. I got a nice story to tell. I'm sure we'll have a good time then. I do have some member stuff that I have to do that I'm running behind on, so that will probably happen next week as well. And we'll discuss my trip to South Carolina, and you'll see why Mike's in here at that point. Thank you guys all for being here. I have a lot of fun tonight. Really, I feel so much better and getting to come home and stream and talk to you guys. You guys are awesome. Got to edit a video. I will see you guys on Monday for Monday Digs. Look for the community post to say what time we're going to start and what time we're going to go till. But it should be a good week. Love you guys. I'm out.